A lot of students struggle to get to grips with double entry, so we thought we'd put together a mini demo for you. Here's the scenario. Simon and I have decided to set up a training business together.
And because I'm really prudent, I've agreed to put in the massive sum of £1,000.
Before we get started, there are a couple of key things to note. The first one is that for every double entry transaction, there is always a debit entry and there's always a credit entry to enter into the general ledger T accounts. Additionally, for each transaction, the monetary value on the debit side must always equal the monetary value on the credit side.
That rings a bell. Hence the term balancing the books. Before you enter into the accounts, jot your debit and credit entries down on a scrap of paper and check your debit amount matches your credit amount. Just a reminder too that debit entries are on the left hand side of the account as you look at it, and credit entries are on the right hand side as you look at it. So, we're starting this business.
We are indeed.
Would you like £1,000?
I'd love some money.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Just checking this. That's brilliant. I shall get this to the bank right away.
I've even signed it.
You have.
So, here's how the double entry will work for this transaction.
Okay, so for the £1,000, we're going to debit the bank account £1,000.
And we will credit the capital account £1,000.
Okay, if we're going to get this show on the road, I need to buy some Google ads and I'll need £500.
Well, you can only have 200.
Oh. So here's how the double entry will work for this transaction. So we'll debit marketing expenses for £200.
And we will credit bank for £200. Ah, I see someone has purchased a standard foundation certificate in bookkeeping course for £329 and they paid by debit card.
Yay! Well, that was a good investment in marketing, wasn't it, Simon?
Yeah, I suppose so, but it was probably just a one-off. So here's how the double entry will work for this transaction.
So this will be debit the bank account for £329.
And it'll be credit sales for £329.
Oh look, there's another enrolment. This time it's for a standard foundation certificate in accounting. I see the employer has sent it in, so they need to be invoiced for it. Still a fluke, Simon?
I'm glad we decided to invest in marketing. So here's how the double entry will work for this transaction.
So it will be debit, receivables or debtors.
And credit sales. So I hope you're beginning to get the picture of this.
Something you might find really useful here is dead click.
There are 6 key accounting categories.
Debit, expenses, assets and drawings.
Credit, liabilities, income and capital. Having an understanding of which category each account belongs to will seriously help you. For example, Prue.
The Google ads were an expense, so a debit entry.
And a very big one too.
And the bank is an asset, so long as you have money in it.
It will therefore be a debit entry.
It would.
It becomes a liability if you go overdrawn. It will then become a credit entry.
The sale of the course was an income, so that's a credit entry.
And when we put the £1,000 into the business in the first place, which was quite a painful process, I might add, this was a debit to the bank, i.e. an asset, and a credit to the capital account, i.e. a form of liability, because the business owes that money back to us, me and you.
It does. Ah, so that means I can go out and spend some more money. And if it's for me, that will be drawings.
Yes, dear, because you're worth it.